Now that you have your food, would you continue the story?
The Spider-Verse story?
Yes, kid. What else is there?
Okay, so we left off with the 3 Spider-Men teleporting to the Marvel Universe, right?
Yep.
And the new Goblin attacked the trio, right?
Yep.
All of them fell into the portal back into the sanctuary. The new Goblin was in shock to see how the world changes. His mind quickly thought of something. He looked right at me in the sling ring. He rushed towards me as he was about to grab the item. The 2 Spider-Men webbed him up, but his sword manages to cut through it. A fight occurs, but with his tech and toys, he manages to immobilize the 2 Spider-Men using a sleeping gas. I, however, managed to hold off my breath, but he knocked me off with the bomb. Once I'm knocked out, he grabbed the sling ring and the necklace, which is the time stone. He mocks on how weak the Spider-Men were and how we don't deserve this power. He then bombed the roof. He flew up to the sky as he laughs at us. My vision recovers as I saw the 2 Spider-Men laying on the ground. I then looked up to see the new Goblin conjuring a portal from the ring. The new Goblin easily learned how to use it when he saw me do it earlier. I tried to web him, but he was too fast. And as soon as I recovered to my feet, I suddenly realized that this moment is almost the same as my dream.
Oh no. But where did the new Goblin go?
He gets transported to the web universe. He thinks of a formidable ally to torture the Spider-Men. Once arriving at the escort power grid, he searches the compound but doesn't find any. He then goes to the blast site where he saw a ton of webbing at the floor. And what did he saw when he looked further? Electro's meter. As smart as he is, he grabbed it. He felt a little spark. The new Goblin seems to think that the meter isn't just something that would fall into the middle of a fight scene. So he tossed it into the webbing that connected the electricity, and the meter levitated into the air, while sparks of electricity power up the meter.
Oh no. It's Electro.
As the meter charges, a faint scream was heard by the new Goblin. The scream grows louder as he sees the electricity forms into a human body. Electro suddenly lives. He fell down to the ground, barely breathing. The new Goblin offers his hand and asked if he hated the spider, because they are gonna make them suffer. Electro agrees and told him that he also knew a guy. Electro searched for the Goblin of the web universe through electronics and electric posts around the city. Luckily, he saw the Goblin at a police mobile heading to station. Electro kills all the police and retrieves the Goblin. He took the Goblin back to the power grid and the 2 Goblins meet.
Well, that would be awkward.
So the new Goblin asked who he is. The Goblin said he is Harry Osborn. They are both confused on how they had the same name, but they catch on quickly, because they already seen a couple more of Spider-Men roaming around. The new Goblin suggests that if this was a multiverse, then there would be many more foes of Spider-Man for them to recruit. The new Goblin asked where's the Goblin's gears, and they retrieved it. It was half usable. It was nearly destroyed, but at least he retrieved his suit. The new Goblin, Electro and the Goblin agrees to search for more, and the new Goblin just knew where to go next. The new Goblin opened up the portal, and they teleported to the Raimi universe, into the lake where Dr. Octopus drowned.
They are really gonna get a dead body?
It was nighttime. The new Goblin told them that he knew a powerful guy that died here. He tasked Electro to go deep into the lake to find Doc Ock. Electro didn't think that he could dive deep, but he has no choice as the new Goblin is very hesitant. Electro dives. Minutes later, the whole lake was electrified and Electro rise fast, holding the body of Doc Ock. "Revive him," said the new Goblin. As Electro blasted the corpse of Doc Ock with a shock of electricity. His heart pumped back again as the shock forced his heart to work again. Doc Ock emits a lot of water as he breathes. His forearms goes wild and try to attack them. Electro immobilized the robot tentacles, while the new Goblin removes his mask for Doc Ock. They knew each other, they have the same grudge for Spider-Man, and the new Goblin easily persuades Doc Ock into joining their team.
He really is building a team.
So as Electro releases Doc Ock, they saw a meteor fell from the sky. Doc Ock suggests that they should look at it because extraterrestrial things could possibly hold vast amount of power. They all agreed on that, and on the way, they stumbled upon a testing facility. The team suddenly saw a bunch of police in pursuit of a guy. The new goblin felt insane and tasked Electro to kill the cops. A huge electric shock spears the cops through their chests. There was a couple of police dogs, but the new goblin declined on killing the dogs, because nobody kills dogs, right? A fence blocked the dogs, but the man kept running. The man suddenly fell into a hole and the testing site starts to operate. The team watches as the machine stops. They looked for the guy that fell, but they only saw a bunch of sand and a necklace. Doc Ock gets the little necklace with a picture of a kid. They presume the guy is dead, and they proceed to the meteor's crash site.
I have a good feeling that the guy is Sandman.
So the team gets to the crash site. Dawn is coming, and what do they saw? A meteor with black goo on it.
Venom. It is possibly Venom.
So the new goblin got angry that they walked through that long way and wasted their time just to get to a blank meteor. The goblin asked why didn't they just use a teleporter. The new goblin gets pissed off and started to punch and beat up the meteor. He is aggressive as the team watches the new goblin releases his anger. Doc Ock noticed the black goo growing into the new goblin, but he is still angry, beating the rock up. As he yells in anger, the black goo suddenly clings into him, covering his body and face. The team was shocked. Electro blasted it off, but the black goo creates a protective shield. The new goblin screams in pain. Doc Ock tried to get it off, but the goo resisted. The team is unable to save the new goblin. The screaming stops. And there was silence.
I called it. See, it was Venom.
Yes, the new goblin turned into Venom. He suddenly wakes up, he screams, and he stood up larger, bulkier, a 7-foot monster. He laughs as he told everybody how he felt so much powerful, that he is ready to kill the spider. He then tossed his glider and weapon to the goblin, and the Venom says that he is officially the goblin now. As the Venom was about to open the portal, he saw a bunch of sand flying toward the city. The goblin rode the glider and rise above them. He looked for the sand thing, but he sees that the sand is forming into a giant human-shaped sand. He goes back down to tell Venom. Doc Ock suddenly shows them the little necklace that they saw last night and suggested that the man who fell down there could have gained sand-like abilities. The Venom laughs at the theory, but still believed Doc Ock because of his brains. So Venom tasked Electro to search everywhere for the kid in the picture and made that kid a hostage so that the Sandman would come. He could be a strong ally, said the Venom.
So that ties in the storyline of Sandman in the movie, Spider-Man 3?
Correct. Now Electro found the kid, and the team arrives at Flint Marco's house. The house is covered with black goo, had a horrible feeling to it. Electro hacks all screens to make Sandman show up and to tell that they have his kid. The police was alerted, and whenever the cops shows up, the goblin wreaks havoc and destroys all. The Sandman suddenly shows up and is greeted by the Venom. The Sandman turns into his human form. He sees his kid and hostage along with his wife. The Venom offered him a chance, but he will serve him in killing the spider. The Sandman tried to fight but is defeated by the Venom. Doc Ock holds his kid and was about to kill his wife, but the Sandman gave up, joins the gang, Venom said finally. Venom conjured the portal while saying, "How about we get to the point? Maybe there is someone needle that know who Spider-Man is in that little spider's world." They jumped into the portal and landed in the Marvel Universe. They saw themselves in a jail cell. "Why here?" asked Doc Ock. Venom answered, "I have a plan." In front of them is a man sitting at the end of the jail bed. "What do you want?" said the prisoner. "I believe you know who our little Spider-Man is," said Venom. The man stood up and walked in front of the team. It was the Vulture, Adrian Toomes.
Oh.
The Vulture declined and said no. The Venom got angry. The Goblin punched him. The Venom asked again. The Vulture declined again. Doc Ock slams his chest with his arms. The Vulture fell and said no once again. Venom attacks the Vulture and asked if he had kids, because the Venom would happily kill his children if he resists again. The Vulture has no choice but to spill it out. "Peter Parker," he says. The Goblin laughs and tells Venom, why didn't they just figure themselves up like he already knew who Spider-Man in his world is? The same with the Venom and Ock. Venom gets pissed off when the goblin mocks him and he beats the goblin down to the ground. He tells that it was so stupid of him, but he will beat anyone's face if someone mocks him again. So everyone shuts up. Electro helps Goblin up and Doc Ock grabs the Vulture.
That's when messed up Venom.
The Vulture suggested that they go to his hideout for him to grab his flight gear. Venom agrees and told everyone that he has a plan. They break the Vulture out from prison, and the 6 of them made their way to the Vulture's hideout.
Wait, so there is the new goblin that turned out Venom, super mad at Spider-Man. Then there's Electro, the goblin that tried to kill Gwen, Doc Ock that they revived, Sandman and the Vulture that they both blackmailed. The Sinister Six.
Correct. So back to the sanctuary, I am barely on my feet. I crawled towards the 2 Spider-Men and tried to wake them up. Upon waking, I told them that the new goblin got the necklace and the sling ring. They agreed to patrol the night sky of New York, but they see no crime. I contacted Aunt May and told her that I am staying with Mr. Stark for a couple of nights, so she would not worry more. I tried to call Mr. Stark and some Avengers, but nobody is answering. We then go to the Avengers Tower to finally get some help, but nobody is there. I go full worried and told the 2 Spider-Men that it is my responsibility and I cannot let them run off with that kind of magic. Spider Garfield agrees but said that we had to wait because there is no other way they could find them. I started freaking out, but then Spider Maguire suggests that we could take a cool off, eat and refresh, wait for them, and once they shows up, we beat them like we always do. So I calmed down, we get to bond for a little bit, show different style of webbing, we ate, we discussed our suits, our way of creating web shooters. Me and Spider Garfield are so amazed by how Spider Maguire has organic webbing, while both of them are surprised on how advanced my suit is. They try to converse with Suit Lady Karen. Spider Maguire tried to ask what is the sling ring and the green necklace, but Karen doesn't seem to know its technology. Even the sanctuary is unknown to Karen. So we are left with questions about the multiverse. We just waited until morning came and tried to know each other more. We fell asleep in turns while waiting, still there are no news. We hang out until the night. Suddenly, all electricity was off. It was total darkness. Spider Garfield jumps to the top of the Avengers Tower to see the darkness of the city, but one light shows up from afar. It was Electro. They're here. And he brought some friends, said Spider Garfield. And ring ring, my phone rang. I answered it. Peter, we have your aunt. It was the Vulture. Why don't come home and we'll have a little chat, okay? He then hung up.
Oh crap.